Good afternoon, Israel briefers from all around the world. Welcome to the Israel Brief. If you're new to it, I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you in partnership with these guys, Lay of the Land, where we take a look at those top stories making headlines in Israel. And the reason we do it is because, first of all, you're not going to get it in your legacy media in your country, and also because we love you, our community, and it's a great way to be in touch with you and to hear your questions and your feedback. Today is day 517 since the 7th of October, 517 days since the atrocities when Hamas invaded parts of southern Israel, murdering over 1,200, raping, mutilating and torturing and taking captive over 250 people. And at the moment, there are still 59 hostages that remain captive in the Gaza Strip. We will not stop speaking for our hostages until every single last one is released, the living and the dead. Today is Thursday, which means we take a look at the Menches and the morons of the week and take a look at your audience question before we head into the weekend. I seem to have a bit of a gremlin fiddling with my light here. Anyway, light issues aside, let's take a look at those top stories, and we begin in the Oval Office, where last night President Trump said, "Shalom Hamas." I don't think that the president was saying, "Shalom, let's make peace." What he did say in a social media post was, "Shalom means hello and goodbye, and you can make a choice. If you don't hand over all 59 hostages, including the dead," he said, "the only people that hold on to dead bodies are the sick and the twisted." He says it is going to open the gates of hell. He also addressed Gazans, saying, you now have a choice. You can either choose to live and to have a better life, or you can choose to die. He said, but you need to hand back those hostages. Now, President Trump may have posted that following his meeting in the Oval with 8 former hostages. Hostages like Keith and Aviva Siegel, Eli Sharabi, Yair Horn, Omer Shem Tov, Nama Levy, Doron Steinbrecher, and the wonderful Noah Argamani shared their stories of captivity. Eli Sharabi shared how he was starved, how he was beaten, had his ribs broken. Aviva shared how a young boy was cut on his hand and just left to bleed, and how they were starved while their Hamas captors ate in front of them. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that President Trump intends to make good on his threat. Meanwhile, yesterday, Axios, the publication, reported that the US was holding direct talks with Hamas, intended to free the remaining hostages, especially the remaining American hostages. The only comment that we've had from the Israeli authorities was that they made their feelings known. No further details than that. Let's look closer to domestic issues, and the new IDF Chief Lieutenant General Zamir has taken office. In his first day in office, he wrote a letter to all IDF troops congratulating them on their many victories, but also saying that there are still massive challenges that lie ahead. And he said that 2025 will be the year of war in Gaza and on Iran. He also said that they will not rest until all of the hostages are returned. The IDF chief, who has replaced Herzi Halevi, is meeting today with mayors and the heads of local councils in Gaza border communities. Now, this is a story you don't hear every day. Israeli immigration authorities have rescued dozens of Indian workers who came to Israel looking for construction jobs. They were apparently lured by villagers into the Palestinian village of Azaim, very close to Jerusalem. Their passports were confiscated from them, and they were basically left stranded. What the Palestinians were doing were using the passports of the Indian construction workers to illegally enter Israel. Now, the immigration officials intercepted them at various checkpoints, and this led to the arrest and the rescue of these construction workers. And finally, Israel is gearing for the first Friday of Ramadan. Israeli police are on high alert, especially around the old city of Jerusalem. In excess of 3,000 police will be deployed tomorrow. Now, Ramadan, especially on a Friday, can sometimes be a hotbed of violence as worshippers go up to the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount. And we have had cases in the past where they've stockpiled weapons and rocks to throw at Israeli law enforcement, sparking clashes. There have been times when they've also thrown projectiles down onto the Western Wall Plaza, onto Jewish and Christian worshippers there. Now, we want to see this Ramadan pass as peacefully as possible. There is concern that hostile entities will try and take advantage of this. So we wish our police every strength, every luck. We will be standing behind them and hope that for the sake of the worshippers coming onto the Al-Aqsa who wish to worship in peace, that their peace is not interrupted. So those are our top stories. Before we get into the Menches plural and moron of the week, let's take a look at the audience question. And it comes from Julie in London, who says, will there be hostages released this weekend? Sadly, Julie, we don't have anything scheduled as yet. Of course, we are all hoping that this could change. We are hoping that we will see progress in negotiations. We've had conflicting reports. Some say there has been progress. Israeli officials say no progress has been made, but we desperately want our people home, all 59, the living and the dead. So if anything changes, of course, there will be updates on the Israel brief. So let's take a look at your Menches and your moron of the week. And we have 3 Menches and only 1 moron. So the first Mensch has been nominated by her mother. And that is a really, really extraordinary young lady, Megan Fisher, from where I am in Modi'in. Megan has worked tirelessly throughout this war to collect things that Israeli soldiers might need, to arrange that our IDF troops stationed on the borders receive hot meals, that they have their laundry done, that whatever their needs are, whether it be boots or vests or towels or snacks, whatever they need, those needs are met. Now, of course, it's not to say they don't get it from the army, but here in Israel we have a special affinity for our soldiers, and Megan has been working absolutely tirelessly. So she tops our list of Menches of the week, and she is followed by President Herzog, who was nominated by Tony Frank. She says President Herzog has been a beacon of strength and of comfort to people throughout this war, and I can't agree more. He really has been our comforter in chief, and I often wonder who comforts the comforter in chief. It must be his wonderful wife, First Lady Mrs. Herzog, Mrs. Michal Herzog, but who comforts our comforters in chief. And my personal choice for Mensch of the Week is the actress Gal Gadot. We know that for many Jewish stars in Hollywood, it is very, very difficult now to stand up and loudly proclaim yourself Jewish, Israeli, Zionist, and stand up against anti-Semitism. And I'm of the opinion that there are things that are more important than careers, like your fellow community members. And Gal Gadot stood up at the ADL's Never Is Now conference, and she said, "My name is Gal, I am Jewish and I am Israeli and I am proud." And she's really, really given strength and courage to so many around the world who are scared to wear their Jewish identity because of the climate of anti-Semitism. And also, we can't forget David Schwimmer, the Friends star, who also stood up and implored his colleagues in entertainment to stand up and use your voices. He said that I know it comes at a risk, but it will mean a lot to your community, be part of your community. And no one's asking you to solve the problems in the Middle East, but we are asking you to stand up against hatred and discrimination. And our morons of the week have to be the BBC for the absolute stinker that they played with their documentary Gaza, How to Survive a War, broadcasting this documentary, which on close inspection, it was found out that £400,000 of license fee money paid by the British public went towards funding the spectacle, which actually just served as a Hamas propaganda piece. It was narrated by a young boy whose mother was paid £1,000 and who is the son of a senior Hamas official. And judging by the BBC's track record throughout this war, it is very, very, very difficult for them to salvage their reputation of being impartial, given that they have essentially acted as a mouthpiece of Hamas throughout the war. So those are our top stories making headlines. And just a reminder to you all to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook page is at Lottel site. If you've been invited to like the page or you come across the page, please click on that following or subscribe button. Let's grow our communities. If you like our content here on the Israel Brief on YouTube, please click that red subscribe button. We are on LinkedIn at Rolene Marks, Instagram at Rolene_Marks, and on X at Lay of the Land 5. Guys, God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Shabbat Shalom, and I will catch you all again on Monday. Bye for now.